Jerusalem of the late Iron Age, the late First Temple period, was a major local center, not only administrative or religious, but also economy. Recent excavations here at the City of David National Park exposed two large structures, most probably the houses of the elite of Jerusalem. One was exposed here at Givati excavation conducted by the Israel Antiquities Authority and the Tel Aviv University, and the other at the eastern side of the hill at Beit Shalem, conducted by the Israel Antiquities Authority.
I'm standing in the building that was found at Givati parking lot excavations. I'm standing in one of the rooms that was found covered by the debris of the destruction by the Babylonians. And below the debris, we found a concentration of at least 15 store jars. This is probably the wine cellar of this building. You can still see some of the sherds glued here to the wall. The moment that we found these store jars, we also found on two of the handles a stamp impression of a rosette that tells us that these store jars were connected to the Judean administrative system close to the end of the First Temple period. These kind of jars are found usually in the destruction debris here and also at Beit Shalem. These jars usually contain something like 30 liters of liquid, and the assumption was always that it's either wine or olive oil, but we wanted to find a positive proof from the actual store jars, whether we can see what was actually stored in them. And we send them to the laboratory for the examinations of residue analysis.
We are now in the restoration lab of Tel Aviv University. When I arrived at the excavation site and saw the ceramic sherds, I understood that this is a great opportunity to discover for the first time the content of these jars. I used residue analysis technique and I identified molecules that are characteristic to wine. The most exciting finding was vanillin. This molecule is originated from vanilla. That means that the wine in the jars was flavored with vanilla.
The fact that there is wine in these jars is not very surprising, but the fact that it's enriched with vanillin cord is very surprising. We know of vanillin being domesticated in the New World, places like Mexico, and then making its way to Europe. But now residue analysis research is telling us that cords of vanillin were collected in nature in Africa, in India. From there it made its way to the big urban centers like Jerusalem. This tells us a lot about the elite of Jerusalem and their wealth. Everything is being expressed by the archaeological excavations.
The archaeological evidence will relate with the biblical text. Not only the evidence of our research conducted here, but also other evidence, such as the ostracon written in South Arabian letters that were found by Yigal Shiloh here in Jerusalem, or the recently found inscription found at Arabia mentioning the trade from Arabia here to Judea.
The City of David, where it all began.